Hello, everyone. Welcome to the FabGrid Talk Show. For those of you who do not know, FabGrid is collaboration between Fablux, which is a magazine, digital magazine headquartered in Malaysia, and Grit, which is a learning and development platform connecting coaches, trainers, and mentors to organizations and people. So every week, what we're doing nowadays is we're covering all the different expertise and the niches of different coaches. And today we have with us Saida Sabeen Farooqi from Karachi, and she's done her holistic health counseling and integrative nutrition coaching from NY, from New York. And she's an expert in what she does. So today we'll hear all about how to cope with emotional eating, which is a problem a lot of us face nowadays. So before we go on to the topic of the day, Sabeen, when you say integrative nutritionist, health nutrition coach, how does it differ from a regular dietitian or a regular nutritionist? Are there any differences or your core areas of focus that differ from them, or is it overlapping? Please share with us.
Okay, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me over, Hatija. I'm really happy to be here. My name is Sabeen Farooqi. I'm a holistic health coach and I'm a healthy lifestyle counselor as well. We are different from dietitian and nutritionist because when you go to a dietitian or a nutritionist, they usually give you a meal plan or a plan which is in line with the deficiencies you have. Okay, so they focus on food only. So their expertise is food. While in my case, I'm a holistic health coach. I have studied integrative nutrition. I am a healthy lifestyle counselor. So in my practice, we believe that our mind and body is connected. So we cannot isolate one organ from the other. So we have 4 pillars. We believe that nutrition, activity, stress management, and sleep, all these factors, they work. So we work on all these 4 factors, and then, there are emotional health issues and there are physical health issues, but usually they're connected. So we work on your emotional and physical health both at the same time.
Yes, so it's more like hand holding, because I share a little incidents of mine, Sabeen, that I always used to have this problem. I would go to nutritionists and even dietitians, and they would just hand me a meal plan, and then I would say to myself that who's going to follow through with this. You're saying that as a health coach and a counselor, you are with the client throughout the journey of weight loss or whatever health goals they have.
Actually, we're kind of their mentors, and we work on their emotional and physical health at the same time, simultaneously. So we usually have a need assessment form, and I ask my clients to fill out the forms. And once they fill out the form, then I decide what approach to is better for this particular client. So we believe in bio-individuality. It means that everybody is different. So whatever plan is working for you might not work for me. So whatever is working for me might not be beneficial for my friend. So it's like that. So we believe in, we don't believe in the same meal plan. Like if you have diabetes, I won't give you the same meal plan as the other diabetic person because you might have different history. You might be living in different conditions. Environmental conditions are also very important. Your relationships are also very important. First of all, we have to understand that our brain is connected to our gut. So you must have heard about it, serotonin. It's a happy hormone. So serotonin is a happy hormone, which makes you happy, which keeps you, in a good spirit. But this hormone is released in your gut. So whenever you're feeling anxious, it means there is some issues with your gut. So we work on your gut health. which in long term helps you in your anxiety, in your depression, in your anger issues. Everything is related.
So, Sabine, when we talk about emotional eating, does it usually signal to a deeper issue like anxiety or depression as the root cause, or is it more out of habit?
Okay, so we have to understand when we talk about emotional health, there are two different perspectives, and there are two different aspects. One is physiological aspect and one is psychological aspect. Okay, so when you talk about psychological aspect, it can be habitual, it can be because of stress, it can be because of your particular environment, your anger issues, your loneliness. Okay, and there is another aspect which is called your physiological aspect. So this physiological aspect is very important as well. So talking to a counselor might help you in psychological way, but talking to a health coach who can understand your psychology and your physiology both helps you in a better, in a better way. So physiological factors are like hormonal imbalance. Sometimes you have poor gut health. Sometimes you have issues with your, like you are deprived of certain minerals. Like if you crave chocolate, that means you might have a magnesium deficiency.
Okay.
So we have to go to the root cause. Once we fix the root cause, then we can, address the issue. So physiological and psychological, both issues has to be addressed when a person is eating emotionally.
So, you mean to say it's a combination of both habit and maybe some deeper issues?
Yes, a deeper issue means a root cause. That's what I'm saying. That's why we created a form or a procedure in which you should be answering all the questions. And sometimes people get triggered that you're a holistic nutritionist. Why are you making me fill this form? But that form is very important because it makes me understand what's going on in their life and what are the triggers and what are the problems of which I need to address to finish this root cause. Yeah.
So, Sabine, there's a tendency to munch on, maybe caramel popcorns or ice cream or have ice cream when you're down and you're depressed and you're eating and eating. So, can we not have a healthy alternative? Why do people choose those foods? Are they feel good foods? Is there a natural inclination to choose unhealthy fatty foods?
Yes, there is a natural inclination and we have a reason for it. So when we are stressed for a shorter period of time, it's okay. But when you're stressed for a longer period of time, your cortisol levels are very high. So when your cortisol hormone is very high and you are stressed, for a long period of time, what happens is your brain needs glucose. So whatever glucose is available in your body goes to your brain, and in response, insulin is released. Okay. When we have increased release of insulin, what happens? It wiped off the carbohydrate very quickly. So when the carbohydrate or sugar is wiped off in your body, what happens? Your brain need instant energy. So for instant energy, you crave sweet, you crave processed food, you crave carbohydrates. So that's the main reason. Like I'm sorry if I use too many terminologies or hormones and stuff like that, but that's the basic reason behind it. That's the reason why we always try to go for candy and chocolate and chips and popcorn, or just order McDonald's, because we need that instant gratification. One more thing we have to understand, that food is it's something which is, we are tuned to use food as a mode of satisfaction. So when we experience negative emotions, even then we sometimes we just blame ourselves and we just eat. And when we encounter positive emotions, even then we crave food and we just want to celebrate. So that is, food is like, it's like a basic instinct right from the beginning when you're a baby. So that's not something which is wrong. But what we have to do is we have to understand that we will have these cravings, we will have the stress. What we need to do is we have to manage the stress. So how do we manage the stress? Why don't we go for healthy vegetables or broccoli or cucumbers or hummus like that? Because we do not have those staples in our house. So first of all, we have to clean out our pantries. Okay. So if you don't have biscuits in your house, if you don't have chips in your house, you won't, get tempted. So we have to clean out our pantry. And on top of it, we have to understand that there must be a pattern for emotional eating. We have to remove that pattern or that trigger. So eating wisely, planning is very important as well. If you don't plan your meals and you don't eat for a longer period of time, definitely when you don't have time, you just go and get your, fix from Starbucks or from KFC or Pizza Hut, wherever you want. So there are certain things that we need to work on.
Yes, so a lot of times, people want to know what other strategies or alternatives they can use. And sometimes I've heard and I've read as well that, health coaches or even nutritionists, they suggest that you should use mindfulness. That you should try to feel and breathe and think all that you're eating. But some people, when I say this to them, when I'm sharing my readings with them, and they're like, how can we do that? That's going to take so much amount of time feeling and, taking in everything. So for those people who have yet to develop or realize the importance of mindfulness, what other strategies or suggestions do you give them to deal with
When we talk
emotional?
about mindfulness, that will cater to your psychological needs. Okay. So if you are psychologically upset or you have some triggers, then mindfulness and breathing exercises and walk in nature might help you. If you are feeling lonely, then maybe if you spend time with your loved one or a pet or confide in a friend, it works. But if you have physiological reasons, because of these physiological reasons, you're suffering from this emotional eating disorder, then you have to cater those. So then you have to go to a health coach or someone who can get your hormones tested, who can check your mineral imbalance, who can see if you have some sugar imbalances. Okay. So if you have the physiological reasons, you have to get the lab test done. So whenever we treat a client, we ask them to do certain lab tests. And after looking at those results, then I suggest them that maybe you have to add this supplement, maybe you have to do this particular plan for 1 week. And I give them food plan, not meal plan. So I suggest food. So when I suggest food, it means I focus on their gut health. Because what happens if your gut health is not in a very good shape, then it's a problem, because food directly affects our microbiome. Microbiome is our like small bacteria which are beneficial for us. So if we have the colony of bad bacteria more than the colony of beneficial bacteria, what happens is they do not let the serotonin release, okay, which is a feel-good hormone. So when they don't let it release, then we feel anxious, then we feel deprived, then we feel depressed. So we need to work on our gut bacteria. And when I say that we need to work on the bacteria, we have to cut out the sugary food. We have to add fiber in our diet, because fiber is actually the food for those bacteria. And we have to add fermented food like kimchi or the shaljam ka achar that we make. There are the kombucha, yogurt. There are plenty of probiotics available. So we have to feed those bacteria. When we feed those bacteria, they get happy. When they get happy, they release happy hormones, and then we feel good. So it's like everything is interconnected. It's very interesting.
Yes, it is actually. Sabine, when you're dealing with clients, can you? Well, so who is your typical client? Are they more in their teens? Are they more women, gender-wise and age-wise? Who are the people who come up with this particular problem of emotional eating more?
Okay, so I have a very diverse group of clients all over the world globally. So
Mhm.
my clients are, they are from like 17-year-old to 65-year-old, because
Mm.
emotional eating is something which is very common nowadays. After the COVID, people are so disturbed, they are so stressed, and they just feel lonely all the time. And you know, when all we experience all these negative emotions, we tend to eat, or we tend to isolate ourselves. So I have teenagers, I have mothers who actually got their teenager kids to me because the kids were having anxiety issues. I have women who are, going towards their menopause, and they are facing different hormonal imbalances. I have some professionals who are not able to cope up with the stress, and that's why they don't have time to plan their meals and eat well. So I have from children to adults, males and females both.
Yes. For an office worker, for instance,
Mhm.
they don't have access to the kitchen, right? So they probably have access, they have a close by fast food chain or they have a grocery store, and they tend to pick up these, on the go foods. Mostly, locally, we don't have a lot of healthy options available. So, what would you suggest then?
Okay, so in that case, we actually work with them and we ask them their routine. So what's their routine? How is their day like? Okay, and whenever they go to the restaurant, I help them navigate through the menu and choose the right options. Or if they go to the grocery station, which aisle to go and which oil to avoid. Okay, so we actually make them very independent. We teach them, we coach them to take all the healthy options and leave unhealthy options. And it takes a while. It might take 1 or 2 months or maybe 3 months, but long term consequences are really good, because short term goals or short term reward system is not good for us.
Mm.
So I teach my
So,
client, I coach my clients, and this coaching actually helps them in every way. It helps them with their family. It helps them with their colleagues. So when one person starts eating healthy, the other person get
yes.
as well. And even for mothers, if they join my program, so they start bringing healthy pantry stuff, healthy grocery. So they are using the good oil. They will use the right kind of salt and stuff like that. And there are a lot of food services, for meal services available. You can, if you don't have time to prepare your meals or plan your meals or do your meal prep, what you can do is you can get those services and they deliver food to your doorstep. It's very common now. Yeah.
Yes. Your brand, Sabelicious, Sabine, do you um, provide healthy foods? Have you collaborated with someone on that, or are you just giving consultancy?
Okay, so I have not collaborated with anyone at the moment, but what I do whenever a person joins my plan, I give them a welcome goodie box. So
Mhm.
that welcome goodie box, I have a herbal tea, I have some blends that which are natural. I don't do supplements, I don't do artificial preservatives, but this is something that I want to kickstart their journey. So I get my, because I've been living in different countries in last 4 or 5 years. So I know what to get from Malaysia. I know what to get from Dubai. I know what to get from Singapore. I know what to get from Karachi. So I have gathered a lot of information and the stuff, and then I have made my own blends. And then those blends are not for sale. they are for my clients only.
Oh,
Because
all right.
nowadays it's difficult for me to get those stuff, to get
Yes.
that. So I give it to my clients whenever they join the program. It's easier for them to kickstart their journey.
So talking about supplements, you say that often emotional eating is triggered because of some deficiencies. So if we have like multivitamins, do you think we won't be well catered for, or it will help us avoid that kind of eating?
Okay, so food deficiencies can be a reason, but won't be not always. Okay, you might be having a food deficiency, or maybe you're having your PMS, or you're having your period. Maybe that's the reason why you have hormonal imbalance during that period of time. Like sometimes when women go through their period, they crave sugar, they crave salt because of the hormonal imbalance. But that imbalance is only for 2-3 days. But if you keep
Yes.
on, there is a difference between cravings and emotional eating. Okay, so sometimes we eat emotionally because we are triggered because of some reason, and sometimes we crave for a particular food. So when we say craving, it's different. So again, it's very interesting. If you have your desire to eat food above your neck, it means it's craving. And if you have your desire to eat food below your neck, it's hunger. So you have to understand the difference between hunger and craving. Because when you crave a certain food. When you're hungry, you are not craving certain food, but you are actually feeling that hunger because your body needs that fuel. So to avoid that, we should hydrate ourselves. We should sleep well. We should eat mindfully and slowly, because when you eat mindfully and slowly, your digestive enzymes are released. Your body is prepared to absorb the minerals and the micronutrients from your body. There is one more thing that people do not understand, that sometimes when you don't sleep well for a few days, you feel the urge of having sugary foods, or you tend to eat more. So sleep is also very important in your life, because when you
Yes.
sleep well, then everything stays, in the right loop. And plus, if your activity and exercise, that's also very important. Whenever you move, whenever you do some kind of activity, you release happy hormones. So when you release happy hormones, you're less stressed. So like all the four pillars, like nutrition, with along with hydration, stress management, activity, and sleep, all four factors affect all our mood and our well-being.
So sleeping less makes us low on energy, and we tend to eat more, right?
Yes, yes.
So one more thing, Sabine. Uh, how long should a person observe this kind of pattern of eating, binge eating, that they can be qualified as having an emotional eating disorder? Like, as you said, that somebody can be going through an episode, this a particular stress, it passes, they find they're not doing that emotional eating anymore, or they are on PMS or anything like that. So for people who don't seem to have any particular situation at hand, but they are continuously eating and they can't pinpoint to the reason why that could be. So
That's why you
how long?
That's why you need a mentor to understand
Yes.
your root cause. So when you hire a health coach or a mentor or a counselor, the counselor will understand what your requirements are. Plus, there are like different kind of emotional disorders and stress disorders. So sometimes if you're very, very depressed, then you might need medications, So it's different
Yes.
from person to person. Plus,
Yes. So, Sabine, there's no a set pattern. Like, I've been eating for 2 weeks, for instance, binge eating for 2 weeks. Do I qualify as somebody with an emotional eating disorder?
no. If
Okay.
you have like, there are certain episodes in all our lives. Sometimes we get stressed. and we are not able to control our environment or the situation, whatever it is. So we tend to eat, we tend to binge eat. Plus, sometimes we are in a celebratory mode. Like when I go out for vacation, I eat
Yes.
cake, I drink, soft drinks, because
Yes.
that's my time to connect with my boys, my children, my friends. So that's a celebratory mode, it's different. But when I come back, like I was in Canada in June, sorry, no, today's July. Yeah, in June for 3 weeks I was in Canada. I ate pastries, I ate boba teas, I had pizza, I had everything. But I know how to control and how to contain. So I know how much portion to eat and when to stop. So you have to be really mindful. Sometimes or maybe sometime when I'm stressed, I do go in front of TV and I also eat junk food. But that's something that happens once in a while. But once you understand the root cause, if it's if it persists and it's not going away, then you might need to hire someone to help you and to assist you. And it's not difficult actually. It seems difficult, but once you understand that your coach is your friend, then it's very easy for you, because your coach understand your feelings, your circumstances, your brought up, your family background, your history. We work on everything. So we suggest you according to your own requirement. That's it.
One of the ways that you're different from dietitians and nutritionists is also that you're not just focusing on the stats, the BMIs and all these things. You're taking the person as a whole, as coaching does, seeing the person as a whole, affected by environmental factors and uncountable variables. So is that right?
You don't have to be perfect. You shouldn't lose ground. You need practical safeguards for everything. So you have to have some stoppers at your home. For example, like if I feel that I crave sweet every day after food, so there are certain things that we suggest, like you can have a sugar-free gum right after the food. Okay, you can have a cardamom right after the food. You can have any kind of herbal tea right after the food. So you just tend to use that stopper to tell yourself, okay, I'm done with my food. Right. I don't need anything else.
Yes. One thing I do, just sharing, is that after my last meal, I quickly go and brush my teeth. So it's like a stopper for me that, now no more. It's the end for the day.
My indulgence is dark chocolate. So, if sometime because I have a sweet tooth. So when I have that square of dark chocolate, I feel that, I'm done. I'm happy. So, everybody have different kind of comfort food. But you have to just understand, realize, and if you indulge once in a while, it's fine. You're a human. You have to give yourself a break. And once you eat something, don't have guilt over that. You know what happens? When you eat a burger, for example, you went to McDonald's, you had a burger. And then you keep on thinking about it. Oh my God, I ate that burger I shouldn't have. You keep on releasing cortisol. When you keep on releasing cortisol, what happens is you interfere with a hormone, it's called leptin. This leptin hormone is responsible for fat disposition in your body. So when the leptin is disturbed, you accumulate fat on your body and you don't understand and you don't realize. So once you
indulge, it's a really vicious cycle.
It is vicious cycle, and God has created this body in a perfect way. So everything is related to other organ. One organ is related to another organ. If I have something, some issues with my heart, then it might affect my brain. That my brain might affect my gut. My gut might affect my kidneys. So everything is related and everything is interconnected.
Yes.
So we have to work on a person as a whole person. We cannot address that, oh, this guy is diabetic, so I will give him or her the meal plan only. I will not. I will give him a food plan. I will guide him. But I will see their lifestyle habits. I will see their emotional triggers. So we have to work on the root cause. I had insulin resistant when I was in Dubai. And frankly speaking, I did not have any mentor at that time. I was able to reverse my condition, and that was the beginning of my journey. But at that time, the health coaching was not very common, and people were not aware of it. But now people have awareness, and because of this COVID, actually, people are able to connect with us. So my business actually thrived during this COVID times because now I have clients globally. They can approach me from wherever they want. Even when I'm in Malaysia, they can contact me. When I'm in Pakistan, they can contact me. When I'm in Dubai, they can contact me. So it's really good for people like us who want to create awareness, and it's very good for people who are sitting in different time zones, but they are not comfortable with maybe the health coaches in their own region or people who know them. So
Yes.
it depends on person to person how they want to interact.
So thank you so much, Sabine, for this very insightful session. I certainly learned a lot that, we should keep our pantries clean, and, we should have a good grocery list that we should follow instead of having all kinds of, unhealthy snacks in it. We should replace it with healthier options. And yes, every person is an individual and should be seen as a whole, for which we can always refer to health coaches like you. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for those who have been watching. My LinkedIn and my Facebook are not working right now for some reason, so I can't see the questions. But if you do have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and we will definitely get back. Thank you so much, and have a nice weekend. Bye.